decades, the United States and Israel have projected one of the strongest strategic partnerships in modern history. They share intelligence, develop advanced military technologies, and coordinate complex operations across the Middle East. To support this alignment, Washington provides Israel with billions of dollars in military assistance annually. But inside the intelligence community, a different rule governs statecraft. There is an old saying, nations have interests, not friends. Behind the diplomatic handshakes lies a persistent, hidden campaign involving physical surveillance, stolen military secrets, covert operations, and political scandals. Deep strategic alliances do not eliminate the desire for intelligence. Instead, they provide the proximity and physical access required to execute systemic data collection. This dynamic was established in the most dramatic fashion on June 8, 1967, at the height of the Six-Day War. The USS Liberty, a clearly marked American vessel, was conducting signals intelligence operations in international waters in the eastern Mediterranean. Then, without any warning, Israeli fighter aircraft and torpedo boats launched a coordinated, unwarned assault on the ship. The attack lasted for over an hour. The vessel was riddled with rockets, heavy cannon fire, machine gun rounds, and ultimately a torpedo that breached its hull. This data overlay shows the exact, verified casualties resulting from the incident. 34 American sailors were killed, and 171 others were wounded. Israel quickly apologized, categorizing the assault as a case of mistaken identity. Washington officially accepted that explanation. Many survivors rejected the government's conclusion. Chief Engineer Richard Brooks stated directly, "It was a deliberate attack. They knew exactly who we were." Crew members pointed to the American flag flying clearly over the vessel and noted that Israeli aircraft had conducted repeated reconnaissance flights before the assault began. The incident remains highly controversial today. Lawmakers like Congressman Thomas Massie continue to call for renewed congressional attention, though attempts to reopen the inquiry consistently provoke intense political pushback. Accident or deliberate action, the attack on the Liberty confirmed a harsh operational reality. In conflict zones, even partners possess the capability and willingness to inflict lethal damage. In 1951, the United States and Israel signed a formal intelligence understanding explicitly intended to prevent espionage against one another. Modern counterintelligence assessments paint a contradictory picture. American agencies consistently identify Israel as one of the most aggressive collectors of U.S. data. This U.S. Defense Threat Matrix dashboard displays a recent escalation. Internal reporting elevated the intelligence threat posed by Israel from high to critical. The trigger was a localized spike in operations, as counterintelligence identified expanded espionage coinciding with highly sensitive negotiations. The specific targets included senior figures involved in Middle East diplomacy, such as Presidential Envoy Steve Witkoff, Pentagon strategist Elbridge Colby, and policy official Michael Domino. This 3D render illustrates the physical surveillance methods investigated. Counterintelligence discovered attempts to place electronic listening devices directly inside Secret Service vehicles. Digital perimeters were also breached. Some American personnel stationed in Israel reported discovering advanced targeted spyware on their mobile phones. Modern cyber capabilities have weaponized the daily proximity afforded by diplomatic alliances. Standard diplomatic contact is now a severe counterintelligence vulnerability. This modern cyber strategy is built on a decades-old foundation of exploiting human intelligence networks. Take Arnon Milchan, for example, the billionaire Hollywood producer known for major studio films. During the 1960s and 1970s, Milchan covertly participated in a clandestine organization known as LACOM to acquire sensitive American equipment necessary for Israel's nuclear program. When actor Robert De Niro asked if the reports of his covert procurement were true, Milchan openly admitted to it, stating, "Yeah, I did that. Israel is my country." A highly visible institutional breach occurred decades later in 2006, centered on Pentagon analyst Lawrence Franklin. Franklin admitted to passing classified U.S. policy documents regarding Iran to officials connected with the American-Israel Public Affairs Committee. Though Franklin initially received a sentence exceeding 12 years, subsequent appeals drastically reduced his punishment. He ultimately served only a brief period of house arrest. These operations establish a clear historical pattern. intelligence gatherers successfully leverage ideological alignment and open diplomatic channels to bypass standard American security protocols. No single case validates the scale of this threat more clearly than Jonathan J. Pollard. Intelligence professionals widely consider him the single most damaging spy ever recruited by an American ally. Pollard had extensive access. During the 1980s, he worked as a civilian intelligence analyst for the U.S. Navy. Burdened by heavy personal debt, Pollard sold his access. His compensation included approximately $1,500 a month in cash, expensive gifts, and a diamond ring for his fiancée. This graph illustrates the extraordinary volume of the theft. Investigators estimate Pollard removed tens of thousands of classified documents across multiple categories. The material compromised American capabilities, including intelligence collection methods, electronic surveillance systems, satellite operations, and data regarding Pakistan's nuclear program. Former U.S. Secretary of Defense Caspar Weinberger summarized the breach directly: "I cannot conceive of a greater harm to national security." Pollard was arrested in 1985 and spent 30 years in prison. Following his parole in 2015 and the lifting of travel restrictions in 2020, he relocated permanently to Israel. Upon his arrival at Ben Gurion Airport, he was personally greeted and embraced in front of television cameras by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The same individual is legally classified as a traitor in Washington and officially celebrated as a national hero in Tel Aviv. It is empirical proof that allied nations possess inherently conflicting strategic interests. The lengths intelligence agencies push to protect their assets extend past financial compensation, entering the realm of direct diplomatic leverage. During the Clinton administration, investigative accounts alleged Israeli officials attempted using wiretapped recordings connected to the Monica Lewinsky scandal as leverage to negotiate Pollard's release. While these specific claims remain disputed and conclusively unproven, they outline the extreme tactical margins where intelligence agencies operate. This operational behavior is a universal norm of global statecraft. The United States routinely conducts espionage against friendly nations, including Germany, France, Japan, and South Korea. The intelligence releases published by Edward Snowden provided definitive proof that gathering data on allied nations is standard operating procedure, not a rogue exception. Extreme measures to acquire leverage, map vulnerabilities, and protect assets are structurally built into modern international relations. Alliances do not cancel out these operations. The U.S. Israel relationship is built on undeniable strategic necessity and deep military cooperation, yet it operates under constant mutual suspicion. Former CIA Director James Woolsey framed the pragmatic reality of Allied intelligence gathering. "Yes, my dear friends, we've spied on you because we wanted to know what your government was doing." In international politics, trust is never absolute. Partners collect secrets because they have to, and sometimes the greatest operational threat comes directly from a friend. Beneath the public diplomatic handshakes, an invisible battle continues every day. It is fought with classified documents, hidden microphones, cyber tools, and covert agents. In the shadow world of espionage, friendship never eliminates suspicion. It merely changes the methods used to gather the data.